Hi, everyone. Welcome to Financial Insights. I'm Linda, your accounting coach. Today, I want to talk about how to record a grant the right way. Similar to loans, recording a grant can cause organizations issues because this is something just out of I wouldn't say it's unusual, but it's not a routine cash deposit that usually comes in. A lot of times there are some businesses that never receive a grant. And then all of a sudden, like in 20 something years, are like, okay, oh, I got a grant. And like, what do I need to do? So this video is for small businesses on how to record a grant. So once again, this video is for small businesses on when you receive a grant. So if you think about a grant is money the organization receives and they do not have to pay it back. A loan is money received, but you do have to pay it back. And if you think about what I just said about paying back and not paying back, that will give you a clue on where to record a loan and a grant. So anything that you have to pay back goes on the balance sheet. If you do not have to pay back, it goes on the profit and loss statement. So a grant, the money received from a grant goes onto the profit and loss statement. And when you are recording the grant, in whether that's your accounting system, I was about to say QuickBooks or any other system, you do not have to have a grant account for each different grant. It's up to you. Or you can just say grant income. Some people put it in other income. It's your choice. But you want to make sure that is recorded in income. And also, you don't want to lump it into sales or where actually your deposits from your ordinary business activity goes into. So if your activity from your business, like the selling of your product and service, goes into sales or services, you do not want your grant money to go in there. You want to break out your grant money. Also, when you receive the grant money, and when you actually record it in your accounting software, go ahead and upload the agreement and other documents so everything can be attached all together. So that way you do not have to go back and look for documentation. Also, with grants, some grants want you to provide a report and say, okay, what did you spend the money on? So in your accounting software, this is where you have to decide how are you going to track your grant. So in QuickBooks, they have what they call a class function. And if you do not have a particular QuickBooks subscription, you may not have that function. A class function is where you can actually categorize different items. So for instance, you can actually create a class called grant. You can create a class for particular regions, different things like that. If you do not have that capability, you can also use the tag function, which is also in QuickBooks. Other software, and even in QuickBooks, if you do not want to use a tag or class, just type in the memo line, the description line, and say, okay, this is for so-and-so grant. So that way, when you go back and do your research, you can easily pull out that grant amount, that grant money. And then for expenses, if you want, and it's even if for the grant, you do not even have to submit a report, it's still good to identify the expenses that are going to go against that grant. So for instance, say you get a $1,000 grant and you know 500 is going to go towards a printer. So when you purchase that printer, in the description, you should put, okay, this is from Hello Alice grant. So that way you can easily identify those expenses that went against that grant. So to record a grant, you need to set up an income account. Like I stated before, you can call it grant income. Some people just put it in other income. It's up to you, but you need to put that money received from the grant in an income statement. When you receive the money, it's in your bank account. You go to your accounting system, you need to record that deposit. You're going to record that money in that grant income account that you created. And as I stated before, any expenses for the grant, you select a method that is easy for you to identify quickly what expenses are going against that grant. So in QuickBooks, you can create a class and say, okay, this is for the Hello Alice grant. And then for every expense that relates to that grant, you will select that class. You can also use the tag function in QuickBooks. You can create a tag and just say, okay, this is the Hello Alice grant. If you do not want to use any of those two, in the memo line, description line, type in Hello Alice grant expense. So you just want to have a report or quickly identify what expenses did you use the money on. That's all it gets down to. So as you can see, recording a grant and even recording a loan, it can be pretty involved. It's just not steps that are very intuitive. So ask for help. Don't wait till tax season or to the end of the year and say, okay, accounting professional, can you help me? Because actually you're going to pay more because they're going to have to decipher through bank statements, through your accounting system, and figure out what's going on. So ask for help. When you first receive your grant, contact someone and ask for help. Hopefully this information is helpful to you. Make sure you reach out to myself if you do need help recording a grant or a loan or any other accounting questions. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.